Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Green Dragons Gaming Club. Without us, they never feel like winners. Without them, we couldn't look so good. So again, we're based out of Westchester, Pennsylvania. If you're in the South Jersey, around Deptford, Philadelphia area, North Delaware, around Wilmington, Newark, Northeast Maryland, all the way out towards to Lancaster, do me a favor, reach out to me. I'm Sir MC 2015 up on the Ninth Age boards. And I'm also, or just reach out to me via the YouTube channel. So today we actually have a special event. I know I try to do as many these style battle reports as I can. Is we actually have the Dread Elves played by Ryan.
Hey guys.
As he introduces himself, and myself playing my Dwarven Holds. So we want to turn around and do this. He's trying a new list, and let me pull up that list. So Ryan, why don't you go ahead and describe your list and what your game plan is with this list?
Sure. Yeah. So obviously this is not the original list. There's some stuff missing. It was just kind of done from memory, but basically it's the normal net build for the prince. I had a couple oracles, one with the scroll, one with the extra spell. I took Heavens and Shadow. BSB is basically what you have there with like a little bit of a defensive kit on him. Unit of Harpies, Dread Knights with full command, and then I had my huge horde of Executioners, and they had the Warden standard, so they have Swift Stride and Strider, and then I put in, actually one of the mages had that ring that gives them soft cover all the time, and then their hard cover if they're actually in something that gives them soft cover. So I tried to, like, it was basically, I was trying out a Death Star list, but without the usual Tower Guard build, because I prefer Executioners. And then I took 10 Witch Elves. I took a unit of the Raven Cloaks with extra, oh yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's my fault for messing that up. There are actually 2 units of Raven Cloaks.
That's right. I took 2 units of 5 Raven Cloaks with poison and extra hand weapons, and I took, for my core, I took Dark Raiders and a couple units of the Repeater Auxiliaries. And yeah, I just wanted to try out some different units. I wanted to try a big unit of Executioners and see how they would do. I like Dread Knights a lot, but I don't normally have the opportunity to play them because I can't find the points for them. And I also like the Raven Cloaks too, so I wanted to see how they would do. I was just thinking with this list to be really aggressive. They have some shooting to clear out chaff, but it's really just go forward. And then I actually also have the altar in there to help protect the Executioners and to just run them in to some units and see what they could do.
Yeah, and again, when I sit there and I apologize again, we were trying to put it together because he did retool his army. I remember when I saw this army standing across from me, I said, "What's your point? What's your theme? Like, what's your battle plan?" It's like, I have a huge point denial unit on the board that you have to deal with. It's got my prince in there. Did it have one of your oracles in there? No, it had your BSB.
It had my BSB and an oracle.
And an oracle. Yeah. So it had 3 characters in that unit of Executioners. It was a huge point sink. And at the same time, the way my army's kit out, I don't want to go anywhere near that damn thing. Because one of my best units, and I'll pull up my Dwarven Holds list now, is my Deep Watch. I've got 20 Deep Watch, full command, that I usually throw my king in. I usually throw a runesmith in. And I'm going, no, you'll kill every single thing that I have in that unit. And I'll end up with maybe a couple kings, a Deep Watch left. My king might still be there, depending on how many wounds you put on him. Because again, he's still infantry. He's a character. So you're doing 2 wounds to him.
Yep.
For any wounds that you get through. Getting wounds through on him will be a pain in the butt. But, all right, you're probably going to get at least 1, so that's 2 wounds.
And they're meant to character hunt. So.
Exactly. And they can completely do away with my armor. And that's a huge thing of my survivability is with my king is his armor. Because he's got a 1-up armor save. So here's the list I've been playing with. It's nothing new. I think I've been playing this list now.
Probably about a month.
Yeah. Right? At least 1 month, if not 2 months. So I know it's like my base. Anything's been based off of this. And Ryan remembers me during, I think it was beta version. I was playing my Dwarves back when I started playing Ninth Age, and then
You
beta version
switched.
came out, and then I switched to Equitane, and came back to Dwarves. So even this is a little bit different because then I was running the Bomber and things like that. And this is, to me, the old feel. This is how I used to always run my Dwarves, in which case they were aggressive, but they could stay back if need be. They could flank, they could redirect. They had a little bit of everything necessary. Jack of all trades type of deal. That's one thing I've been seeing up on the boards, and Ryan, I'm not sure what you've seen, is like people are either running quote unquote Death Stars or MSUs, multiple small units. And to me, when I look at this list, I see a bunch of multiple small units, but the real bread and butter of this list is my 2 bricks, but they're not huge bricks.
No, and yeah, and I think Mark's right. Like, especially with dwarves, you see like 3 huge blocks.
Yeah.
And with other armies, even with Dread Elves, you'll see Death Stars a lot. And I think even though Mark and I play differently, we both agree that Death Stars usually don't work. But I just wanted to try out something different this game. But Mark's list is definitely, he has points spread out. Also because he has a lot of characters too.
I do have a lot of characters, but I'm just going to go back to your list real quick. Is like when I saw those 30 executioners, I'm like, that's a Death Star. Like to me, that was just flat out. That's wants to get up, eat you. It's daring you to go get close to it, and you know you don't want to because you can't be that stupid to go anywhere near that thing. I mean, that's how I looked at that. It's a nasty ass unit. It's a real hard hitting unit. So yeah, if that's your play style, that is definitely a way to go.
Yeah, I definitely like them over the Tower Guard. There's not a lot of units that are a good matchup for them because they have hatred too. So
we'll get to that Tower Guard in another battle report.
Yeah.
So here's our deployment. This is after vanguarding and scouting. So he actually got first turn, and I think I'd only dropped like 2 or 3 things, and he decided to drop everything.
Yeah, I did. So this was the game of like me completely trying a different play style, playing with a Death Star, almost never bringing a Death Star. I like Mark said, I think I dropped everything just about as soon as possible. Maybe I put one thing down before I dropped everything, which I normally never do. I normally try to just outdrop and just take second turn. But I figured with this list, I have to be aggressive with it. It's meant to be aggressive. Let's just move up, try to take care of the war machines, and just overload the one flank with the executioners. And we'll see how that works out. The last time I played Dwarves, a couple battle reports, I stayed back, just trying to stay away from the flame cannon and keep everything out of sight, or anything important out of sight of the organ gun and the cannon. And I think that worked pretty well. And I just trying something different if I can just overwhelm the dwarves with elves.
Well, and going with how this board is set up, so I wanted to start at the very top of the screen and work my way down. So on the top of the screen, I have a unit of, those are the warriors that Vanguard that have great weapons and throwing weapons. The Forge Wardens are on the hill that are kind of falling off the hill. Then I have my unit of Deep Watch with my King, with Dominic the Donkey. Then I've got a unit of 12 handgunners with my Master Engineer in there. And then I've got my cannon, my organ gun, my flame cannon. Then I've got my 10 Greybeards with a runesmith. My BSB's literally just kind of floating out in the sun. Then I've got my unit of 25 Spear Dwarves. And with Ryan, you've got the fast cap. What are they called now?
The Dark Raiders.
Dark Raiders. He's got the Witch Elves, which I personally, they're my Witch Elves too. I've never liked the Witch Elves, whatever they're called now, which is why they're not even primered. Then he's got his Dread Knights up there. Then the 2 units of Repeaters, and the one that's off the hill actually has an Oracle. He's got his 2 units of whatever.
Raven Cloaks.
Thank you.
Yep.
Another unit of Dark Raiders, and then you see, of course, his Altar, the unit of Executioners, and then the Harpies or Herpies or however you want like to call them today. and that's it. So he had first turn. He vanguarded first, or I vanguarded my guys first, and then he vanguarded, and that's it. When I looked at this board, he had his executioners positioned so that really you had that big piece of terrain in the way, and I could have thrown everything over there to battle your executioners. I could have, but I didn't want to go anywhere near them. That's literally, if you want to go after, you're either going to go after my infantry block, which is why I didn't put my BSB in that infantry block.
Right.
Okay, in which case it's taking that huge unit out of the game. I don't have to worry about it. Or you're going to swing back the other way, and then my infantry block can go after your rear end.
Right.
Okay, so that was kind of my forte, my game plan, so to speak. So here's his movement. I thought very, very ballsy, very aggressive, where you kind of pushed up with everything as far as it could go. He got around my flanks with the one unit of Dark Riders, and otherwise, everything else is in my grill, as they say. It's up front, maybe about, I don't know, 10 inches away. So what were you thinking when you did this?
I mean, you kind of said it. It's just balls to the wall. Just the artillery has to go, and I have multiple units that are set up for charges, and I just need one. I wanted to shoot at them. Two, I want just to have things arranged that you're gonna kill a bunch of stuff, but I was hoping when the dust settles, I have at least 1 or 2 units left that can go in and, if not outright kill them, but just tie them up, and then like my knights and the executioners and my chariot can start to get into a better position to go after some units.
And when I looked at this as to what he was able to do, I was going, crap. That was what was going, because I knew what you were going after was my war machines, and I'm like, there's nothing I can do. You have so many units that I either need to make my charges, or I don't know what else. I honestly, I don't know how else I want to turn around and deal with them at this point in time. So there go my war machines, because you got up there very, very quickly. Turn 2, I should be losing my war machines. That was what's going through my head. So now Dwarves turn 1. Here's how the board looks. So I did not charge in to his Witch Elves with my own warriors. They're the great weapons. And I failed a charge. If I remember right, I rolled 3 1s with my king against your Dark Riders. Or your Ravencloaks. Your Ravencloaks.
Yep, that's right.
And so that's why the Ravencloaks turned around and ran away. So, but I couldn't even get close to catching them. Ended up rolling 3 1s. And let's see. That was it. Now, I was kind of, I can't say I was shocked that you ran away with the Ravencloaks. And then I think you decided to hold with something else, and that's why I ended up rolling the 3 1s, and they only went straight ahead rather than doing the wheel. I think the Dark Riders held.
Yeah, it's too hard from the picture, and I don't precisely remember why.
Yeah. So I ran up a whopping 1. But I was surprised that they held, and that was kind of my hope. Is like I was going to get them to run, and then I was going to get the other unit to run. Or if they didn't run, I was going to turn around and do a multiple charge, and hopefully start clearing off a side. Meanwhile, with my warriors, they were going to face. I had no idea. I mean, Witch Elves to me have always been a horrible unit, and I did not know their damage output. Had no idea. Ryan filled me in that unit of 10 has 20 attacks.
Yeah, because they have paired weapons and frenzy. So you're getting 15 attacks on the front, and then the supporting 5. And they have hatred as well, because they're knob. So, I mean, they're low strength. It's only strength 3, but you're going to get poisons through.
Yeah, and against the warriors. Yeah, no, that to me was a great unit. I did take my Runesmith out and ran him around, and basically was challenging. Yeah, that's plastic bag. Challenging his Dark Rider, saying, "You want to get to my war machines? You're going to have to go through me." And that was it. I moved my BSP back in case he decided to turn around and did a long bomb charge with his executioners, because Ryan has been known to do that. And that was it. So over here, so they did not move. They're quick to fire. They have 2 shots each.
Well, they did move, but they don't care because they're quick to fire.
They're quick to fire. And I thought I was there.
Because you marched up instead of charging them.
Gotcha. I moved up and I just let loose, and I killed 5. I killed 5 of those elves right off the bat.
Yeah, I forgot that they had throwing weapons, but I also didn't expect them to kill 5 either.
Yeah, but then again, that throwing weapons with that unit, that's 20 shots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that is wild.
Yeah. Over here, the Forge Wardens killed 2 of them, which was very poor shooting by the Forge Wardens, because technically they probably more should have been dead.
Probably killed another 1 or 2 on average.
But, so be it. They still ran away.
Yep, failed panic.
And this is the big thing. This is the big thing that hurts. Is if you notice, I'm going to go back a couple pictures here. There's a big unit of knights right there in the middle of the board. There is no longer a big unit of knights right there in the middle of the board. And what ended up happening is my organ gun let loose, killed a bunch. My flame cannon killed a bunch.
Well, what ended up happening was you shot the flame cannon at them first, because I think they were just in range, and you rolled like a 5, I think. So like it got over like most of the unit. You killed 4, and then you're like, oh, I'm just gonna shoot the organ gun at them too. And the organ gun, like, it didn't end up mattering at all that he used the flame cannon. He did like 12 wounds with the organ gun.
It would have ended up killing 8 of them.
Yeah, and I couldn't roll enough like 5-up saves to save him.
So, and that's what happened there. And over here, something killed majority of the Ravencloak unit that's fleeing back there. So now it's Dread Elves' turn 2. He turned around. He tried to charge me, is what we ascertained, and he failed that charge. And I think you were going into my big block of spear dwarves.
Yeah, I think I need a 10 with Swift Stride.
So a little above average, but doable. I've seen Ryan make it on 2 dice more than often. So here's how the board looks. He rallied his fast cav, rallied his 2 units of fleeing Ravencloaks, and that's it.
I just moved the Herpes over.
And you move the other Ravencloaks back behind the artillery. That, I won't lie, that move I was kind of questioning as to why you did that.
Because you were chaffing them up with the Runesmith, and the only way I could have them not chaff me up is literally to be an inch away from. See,
I would have. If I were you, I would have allowed it to chaff me up. I would have put myself behind the ruins, the impassable piece of terrain, which is the big gray mass there in the middle, and just done 3 wide with 2 behind. Charge the Runesmith the following turn, and then overrun into the flame cannon.
True, but I don't think I'd kill the Runesmith.
It's only T4.
I know, but you still got a 3-up armor, and they are strength 4 on the charge, but I'm not getting like that many attacks.
Okay.
It would be, I would need things to go my way. It's not an automatic. Because I thought about even just charging them when they were chaffing them up. I'm like, I still don't think they're gonna win that.
So there's Chucky, and I think Ryan agrees that his new nickname is Chucky.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dwarves turn 2. So here we are now. I'm literally coming up the side. I've got that nice line going. He's got that huge block. I mean, it's just a power sink. It's like 1,500 points on the one side, or 1,000 points on the one side. And I'm going, do I care? That was really it. It's like, you got to make a play one way or the other.
Yeah, you either got to go for it or not.
And to me, putting the Dark Riders behind, I probably would not have done that. I definitely see your logic behind that.
Mm.
The problem is you didn't have anything else at this point up front threatening.
Yeah, I lost all the support that I had.
And with just them, without being sneaky or anything like that, I mean, maybe the harpies.
Yeah, that was the only thing that they could charge in, because they're fly 10 and
Yep.
so
over here, there goes the harpies. I believe that was compliments of the organ gun.
yep.
So the organ gun turned around, killed all the harpies.
Yeah, how much is an organ gun?
A lot.
It's not that much.
The way I have that thing kit out,
How much is it? Like 145?
I'll look it up in a moment. But so the organ gun turned around, did that, and then over here, what did I charge them? They flee. No, I shot them again.
You just shot them and they fled.
So they fled again. Over here, that was the flame cannon.
Yep.
Flame cannon just turned around, killed 4 of them right off the bat, and then cannon had to give the cannon its due. Cannon turned around, killed the last. So now it's Dread Elf's turn 3. So he charges in with both his altar and his unit. So the thing is, and this is absolutely legal charge because per the rules, every model is being utilized. However, oh no, this is a legal charge because the altar, technically you would have had to slide over, okay, because you would have had to get more of the executioners in there, but the altar had to wheel to get in there. It didn't move straight. It actually had to wheel and then close the door. So that's what made that move a legal move in regards because of how he did that. So no, absolutely fine with that. And let's see. Turn around, shot the living crap, which is the right play, which is what Ryan usually does.
I've been shooting this whole time. By the way, I did forget to mention that. I've been shooting with like at least 60 shots like every turn, and I think I finally got some through.
And the one thing I will say is I forgot to designate, and it usually is the organ gun because the organ gun's put up at the top of the line because it's only a 30-inch range. It should have been entrenched. It should have been an extra -1 to hit, but
wouldn't have mattered for this game.
At that point, I didn't care that he turned around and shot to death. I was just like, whatever. It's done. It's good. And to answer your question, it's 175 points the way that thing's kitted out.
Yeah. Well, it killed a 300-point unit in 1 round of shooting.
It had help. Didn't need it, but it had help. So, close combat, my dwarves didn't even go. I wanted 1 dwarf to live because my game plan was to turn around. They were all of a sudden going to be facing my war machines, and I was going to be able to open up with my cannon, open up with my organ gun, open up with my flame cannon, and just kill elves by the horde. I mean, that was my goal. Even with the 5-up ward save that the altar kept putting on them, I didn't care. They were supposed to get just mauled over. And they didn't. I screwed up. I also screwed up by how I placed the unit of spear dwarves. I should have had them tilted just a little bit.
Yeah, I thought you were going to have them tilted to hit me.
Yeah, that's kind of what I should have done. Oh well, c'est la vie. So
it saved their lives, though.
So he blows through that unit and repositions his executioners. So now it's Dwarves turn 3. The hell did I do? Now he got a spell off, which we forgot to mention last game, which was the wilderness.
It was a wilderness spell. It was Curse of the Wildwood, I think.
Yep. Nope, that was it. So it's -1. It's a DT test, including open terrain tests, and it's failing a 1 or 2. So I charged into his fast cab that's chaffing me up with my Forge Wardens just to get rid of him. And I took my king out of the unit. I marched my king because my king's got six wounds. So what do I care? Go ahead. Shoot at the king. You're re-rolling your wounds anyway.
Yeah, and he tripped.
Yeah, he trips. He does a wound to himself. And over there's that killed them to a man. So I did a reform. Over here, I think there was a Ravencloak, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, he charged a Ravencloak and killed the Ravencloak. You couldn't see it in the other picture.
Or I think you just shot him. I think he might have just killed him
Nah.
shooting, but...
And there's that one wound on Dominic the Donkey. So now it is Dread Elf's turn 4. So I see Ryan moving closer. He actually charged his BSB out of the unit into the flame cannon. I'm like, okay, don't care. You know, it is what it is. And
because I think you did shoot me with the flame cannon.
I did. I did kill a bunch.
And even with the 5-up board save, 10 executioners died. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I killed 10. So yeah, no, it definitely was a threat that had to be neutralized. And that was it. You really didn't have much. I know you remember you shooting at my king, and you did nothing to my king.
No, I moved the mage out.
And that's why the mage is now seeing the board. And that's it. So to me, this was key. He only did 2 wounds with his BSB against my flame cannon.
Yep.
So I still had 1 model there. Even with him causing fear, I'm stubborn. So on my turn, and sorry for not having the Captain One Eye or Chucky on the die, I just turned around and just ran forward. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
The get me out of your charge line of sight, and the secondary scenario that we're playing is breakthrough.
Yep.
So my warriors are trying to get closer to the auxiliaries there. I think my king charged and you fled.
Mm-hmm.
With the other unit of auxiliaries, and I've got my runesmith going after your mage over there. So over here, easily kills that unit during my turn. So he charges in with the altar into the cannon, which I actually was hitting your altar with the cannon. You were making your ward save.
Yeah, I made a couple ward saves with that in a row.
And that's it. I mean, my spear dwarves on the one flank are just going up for scenario. My deep watch are going up for scenario. And I think you charge my gunners. You charge my gunners with your BSB, and I chose to flee.
Yep.
Which I was surprised you actually chose to charge them, because it was only turn 4. Figured they would get away, and I could either reposition something else to protect them. But the way you're forcing me to go is in this game that unit has a standard. Puts me where I want them.
Yeah, I don't like truly remember, but it might have been just to get them out of the way. I'm not even really sure at this point. I knew it was over because you have 2 banners that are going to be able to get there, and I only have 1 that can sit there, so it didn't really matter if the gunners got there or not.
All right, so now it's Dark Elf's turn 5. Of course, kills all but one of the cannon. And that's him just shooting the heck out of my warriors. And there's supposed to be more dead on that picture. No, he only killed 2 of the warriors, but I got into that close combat there with that, and that's it. That's how it now looks at turn 5. Those warriors turn around and beat up, but I thought you stuck.
I did. I stuck.
You stuck and
you killed I think 3, and I killed 1 back, but I had a banner.
Yep. And then dwarf turn 5, nothing really happens, or that picture's just out of order. I meant to move that picture, and I forgot to. So over here, so now it's Dread Elf's turn 6. It is what it is. We really didn't move much.
No, the only thing, so it was just the combat with the dwarves and auxiliaries, because that was the only thing meaningful. And I lost, and they fled off the board, and they panicked the other unit.
That's not what happened. That is not what happened. During my turn, I charged with my king into your oracle, and you're like, well, if I flee, you get points for it, so I want to stand there and take it. I killed the Oracle easily, and then they broke from that combat and fled off the board. And because I remember during my turn, should I charge the warriors or not? And he goes, no. Why would you bother charging the warriors into my guys? Because then you risk losing all those points, which granted is only 100 points.
Not that many points, but still.
Yeah. And that turnaround,
it didn't matter.
Yeah.
And they fled anyway, like they should.
So the king just literally solidified that entire side. So the end result was Dwarven Holds victory, 15-5 or something like that. And we don't have an MVP. We usually put MVPs up. I didn't think either army deserved an MVP in this game, or maybe Dwarven Holds for the organ gun. But
yeah, that'd probably be definitely the leading candidate.
But to me, Ryan's a fun player to play against. I definitely always have a good time. We were cracking jokes as the game was going on, but it was just like, I don't know. How did you feel?
It wasn't like the best game for me, just because I didn't like the list. I wanted to try something different, because you see all these different ideas that people have on the 9th Age, which is awesome. And playing on UB and stuff, you get, and even just watching YouTube battle reports, you see a lot of different things and different ways to make lists, different ways of playing. And sometimes you get into a rut where something works for you and you keep playing it. And I was just like, let me try to something new that's out of my comfort zone. And it just wasn't a list that was right for me. And yeah, it just wasn't the same to me. But it was still fine. Just now I know.
See, to me, it was playing that point sync list. There are two different things I don't like in 9th Age. And in which case, one of them actually came from GW. I hate unbreakable units, which is why you very rarely see me take an unbreakable unit, or if I do take an unbreakable unit, it's there as a bus and is easily killed. It's like it's not there to live past combat unless they're winning that combat. And they're designed to get Chucky into combat. Mm-hmm. The other thing that I don't like is taking those point sync units, because back during 8th edition, or actually before 8th edition, you just didn't do that, because if you got flanked by anything, it could be a unit of goblins with nothing in it.
Right.
You're going to lose all those points. So that's why I'm not a huge fan of those point sync units. And as a dwarf player, I can do that easily. I try not to.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Although my king is a point sync in himself. But he's like 410 points, 420 points. But those are my two things. I think playing that style list wasn't to your liking because of how it's played, and it's not versatile.
Yeah, it's definitely not. It definitely was like an all or nothing feel. I'd rather be balanced and be able to have answers for different things, and to be able to have multiple units that I can use for different situations instead of just relying on one thing.
All right. Well, I think that's everything we have for this battle report. So thank you so much for listening, and until next time, bye.